Hey Karen, welcome to what is today? August 1st. August
Oh my
1st.
gosh. Holy fucking, really, August?
Seriously?
Really?
It's like my friend Susan always says, it's like by the time you get to August, it's like a downslide into maybe not a downslide in a bad way, but like it's a slip and slide into the fall.
It really is. And I feel like August 1st is the universe being like, all right, bitch, are you gonna do this? Are
Yeah,
are you gonna have a summer?
it is. It's like this is your last hurrah. You
Yes.
better fucking do it. Like you need to do it. I actually feel that way. I'm going to be off next week because and that's the reason why we're doing two today, but like I feel like I'm going to cram absolutely every single amazing thing into the next 30 days.
That
That's my
is
goal.
absolutely true. And I feel like because especially in Chicago, you don't know how September's gonna go.
It's so true.
Could be an extension of summer, could be a snowy shit show. You don't
It could
know.
be flurries on September 10th. Who knows? But it probably, I hope it's not. I really hope it's not because I hope it's going to be amazing. Actually, I don't know. I feel the same way. I mean, in Bend, it's like, all right, well, we have had 6 weeks of summer so far, basically. Like, that's basically it. And then I'm like, is it going to be freezing by October 1st? Maybe. I don't know. Today it's 106. So it's crazy. It's just so hot. Our governor declared a state of emergency. And I'm not even mad about it. I'm mad for the people who don't have air conditioning. I really feel horrible for them and then any animals outside. And I'm lucky that I have AC. Do you have AC?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know the Pacific Northwest, it is not that common.
It's not. It's not super common, especially in like places like Portland,
Yeah.
Seattle. Like it's really uncommon. I was in Seattle last year. I might have talked about it on the pod, and there was a historic heat wave, and we couldn't find a place to stay because like all of the hotels were booked by locals because no one has air conditioning. So
Wait,
maybe air conditioning companies will do better now.
wait, was that the treehouse?
Yes. Oh my God, you have such a good memory. Holy shit, Karen, you have such a good memory. Yes. The epic treehouse that Tyler tried to adjust the fan and it just died like with like the tiniest touch. And then he went to Target. Okay, listeners, if you're like, what are you talking about? So Tyler and I, like, we finally decided to go on a vacation after, getting vaccinated. We go to this treehouse, literal treehouse in like Podunk. I don't even know where this is, honestly. It's like on the border of Canada. It's like maybe 3 hours away from Seattle. It was far. And so, and I was like, well, I found it on Airbnb. It must be perfect. Obviously, like this is like, we need to drive 6 hours round trip from the airport for this treehouse. And so we get to the treehouse and I was like, this is so rustic and beautiful. And he's like not as much of a rustic fan. And he was like, where's the bathroom? And I was like, it's that, outhouse situation over. And he's like,
Oh,
sweet, we're going to be here for a week. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then we get there and it's like, there's no cross breeze. It's like maybe 102. I don't know. It was insanely hot. And then he truly didn't even break the fan. He just touched it and it literally fell apart. The front of it came off and fell on the ground. And then he was like, all right, well, I'm going to go to Target. I'm going to get a new fan. And I was like, sweet. All right. Sounds great. And then I sat there on a leather couch waiting for him for an hour because that's how far Target is. And by the time he came back, he was like, and he didn't even get the words out. There are no more fans. And I was like, fuck this place. I'm leaving. Like, it was just like, we were done. And then we went to a parking lot of a McDonald's because that's the only place we could get Wi-Fi. And we tried to get I'm sorry that this is turning into a story, but like this is basically we tried to get Wi-Fi and we tried to stay like the closest something like Motel 6, whatever, sleep in, doesn't matter. And so we get a $98 charge on our credit card for the sleep in down the street. And we get there and the lady's like, did you do this on Kayak? Because if you did, then it's not valid and we're not going to give you a refund and you need to leave because she was not having a good day. And I was like, okay, bye. She's like, we have no vacancy and kayak.com is the worst thing ever. No, it might've been Orbitz, whatever. Anyway, the point is that then we were like, all right, what are we going to do? Is it possible to sleep in our car with the air conditioning on all
oh
night
God.
long? And then we looked and there was one room at the stupid expensive place and we were like, we don't care. And so, yeah, I don't even want to say how much it was. I don't actually remember. It was horrible. It was very nice. It was beautiful, actually. It was beautiful. No regrets, but still. Anyway, so yes, it's 106 and I'm glad you have air conditioning and we have 31 days left. But maybe not. Maybe it'll be beautiful until mid-October. I mean, we're in like full on global warming right now. Like everyone's hot.
Yeah. It is not, knock on wood, that hot here in
Oh,
Chicago
good.
right now.
Really?
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's muggy. It's hot here, but it's not 106 hot.
Yeah.
And I have this bad habit of not checking the weather at all, because I work from home. Who cares?
Right. Totally.
Right? So it's always a surprise to me. Every day when I wake up, whatever's going on outside is just a complete surprise to me, like nature's miracle every day.
I love that. It could be a blizzard in July. No big deal. Like,
And everyone else has their shovels out like they knew it was coming. They're all prepared for it. And I'm like, what's happening now? Yeah.
this is so beautiful. Look at this white stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. I recently got an Apple Watch and I'm like, should I look at my watch? Oh, you can tune it to say like the temperature outside. And I'm like, no, I'd rather not know. Like, I'll just wait until I walk outside. Maybe I should. But anywho, so I do have some fun news, Karen. So I have been wanting to do more things that bring me joy. And I decided to start singing lessons.
Wait, what?
Seriously,
Oh my
I
God.
took my first one yesterday. I did, for real. It was so much fun. Okay, so I found this woman and I like did this Google search the other day and I found this woman who's like apparently this incredible professional singer who moved to Bend from LA several, I'm more than a decade ago. And she does, singing lessons out of her house just for fun. Anyone who wants to use their voice and be more confident in talking, singing, speaking up for themselves. She does executive coaching naturally. It's like amazing. So anyway, she also does this thing where it's called, what is it called? It's called the Bend Rock Choir. I think that's what it's called. And basically once a month, not in the summer, but once a month starting in September, she's been doing this for like ever. She gets a rock band and like rents a space and then the rock band plays like the tune of something and she has everyone with sheet music, just the words, and everyone sings at the top of their lungs like Beyonce and Adele and like Dua Lipa and all this shit, and like the whole point is to like not be self-conscious about it. Oh, you can definitely guarantee that I will be signing up for all of those come September. I'm very excited about it.
Oh my God, Katie, I'm so excited. Okay, listeners, you are hearing my reaction in real time. I did not know about this. I'm so excited and I want to know everything. How long was the lesson?
Okay, so the first lesson, well, all of the lessons are 1 hour. I bought a 5-pack. And so that was kind of cool because she was like, well, the first lesson, we're not going to sing at all. And I was like, okay. And basically it was a anatomy lesson of the diaphragm, not even kidding, full on with diagrams and everything. And like we were doing breathing exercises. I mean, this woman is like legit. And so she was like, this is how you're going to sing. Anyone who has a voice in a voice box and they can sing. I'm like, I'm not a good singer. I'm not, whatever. And she's like, yeah, everyone says that. If you can talk, you can sing. And so she's like, what are your goals? And I was like, my goals are to be in a gig band and play at like food truck parks and bars and only play covers forever and maybe play the drums as well. But anyway, she's like, great, sounds good. And she's like, I'll see you next week. And I was like, I can't go next week. And she's like, fine, the next week, but don't quit. Don't quit. Even though like the thing is these breathing exercises were actually really hard. I laid on the ground in her living room with her next to me. Not weird. Sounds weird. But anyway, we had a 2-pound weight on both of our stomachs. And she was describing how to take deep breaths to like help, like basically it was like belly breathing versus like chest breathing where it's like you're short of breath and it can kind of like make you lightheaded. Like she was trying to, explain how to do things in like a really healthy way. And I was like, I know this is helpful, but my stomach is sore. And she was like, yeah, do 10 a day. And I was like, God damn. And so I have a sheet of paper and I haven't done any reps, but maybe I'll do some diaphragm reps after this call.
Oh my God. To say I love this for you is an understatement. I love this for you. Can't wait for the Of Course I'm Not Okay band.
Right?
Oh my God. Okay. So what do you get to sing? Like, do you get to pick the music that you want to learn?
Well, so that's the thing. When I left her house, she was like, hey, just so you know, like, I need you to come with some songs next time. And I was like, what? I'm like, I thought I would sing like Mary Had a Little Lamb. Like, I didn't say that, but I was like, sure, totally. And she's like, do you have any songs that you like to sing, like in the car, in the shower, or whatever? And I was like, tons. Like, I had no idea. My
Right?
mind was totally blank. And I was like, for sure. And then I seriously went in the car and she's like, bring several or like think of several because she can just pull them up on Spotify next time I see her. So I'm going to see her every other week for the next month. And yeah, before I see you, it's actually going to be, I think I'll be finishing. Oh no, I'll have, I guess, 4 of the 5 lessons before I see you, but maybe I'll be a professional singer by then. Who knows? I don't know, Karen.
Oh my God.
This is just for fun. This is for shits and giggles and no product, except for maybe I'll be in a gig band someday. Who knows?
This is incredible. This is, I feel like this is the perfect embodiment of everything we say on the show about doing things for fun, doing things for yourself, doing something creative just for the sake of doing it.
Just for
Oh
play.
my God,
Yes. Play for play's
totally.
sake. Yeah. It was interesting. Anyway, please.
No, I want you to. So I'm pretty sure Beyonce's album drops this Friday, and I just want you to show. I think it'd be hilarious if you just roll in with the album, like, no, here's my list of songs.
They're brand new and I have mastered all of them.
Yes. This is the repertoire I would like to master in the next 4 lessons.
Right? Seriously. Yeah. Make me perfect in 4 lessons. We talked about like vocal nodes and vocal rest and how vocal cords work. I mean, it was fascinating. So I will keep you posted. Yeah. I don't actually know what my songs are going to be, but, and I'm like thinking about it. I'm like nervous about it, but I'm also like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just decide on my way over there. Whatever I'm like singing along with on the radio, like it's okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to come of this, but it just feels nice. And so why not just give it a shot?
Oh my God, I love it. It's so great. I mean, you realize, of course, that you have to do a recital on the show.
I will be doing a solo album on this show. Yes. Acapella solo album. Yes. The first track will drop on August 5th. No, it's not actually, but yeah, that would be amazing.
You've seen Pitch Perfect?
Years ago. Oh my God, forever ago. I need to watch it again.
Oh my God. I mean, it's one of the movies that I have watched a million times. And if it's ever on, I just watch it. And if anybody ever wants to watch it, I'm just like, yes, of course, we're going to watch it. But you said acapella, and I just thought, excuse me. Like they have all these terrible acapella.
Oh my gosh. Is it Anna Kendrick or is it?
Yes.
Okay. She's incredible. Yes.
Yeah. And Rebel Wilson. It's so fun.
Rebel, that's right.
It's just ridiculous. I've only seen the first one. I think there are 3, and there probably only should have been 1.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that with most sequels, except for the Bourne Identity series. I do like them. Actually, the first 2, that's it really. But anyway, yeah, it's tough to make a sequel of anything, I feel like. But yes. Okay, so that's been my latest, but I love your idea for this episode. Like this is so, I mean, I was speechless when you mentioned this.
Well, I can't take credit for this. And Vanessa, oh my God, I hope you listen to this, and I hope you're listening to it, and I hope you're like,
hi, Vanessa, we love you.
Oh my God, Vanessa. So Vanessa is my onboarding buddy at work. We both started the same day. We are the same person. We started work the same day. Our birthdays are 1 day apart. We're both ENFPs. And
ENFP.
Yes, our Myers-Briggs.
Oh, wow. What does that stand for?
Oh, wait, have you?
Oh my God. Done that? No, I need to.
Oh, you should do the Myers-Briggs. It's a personality test, and you end up with, I forget how many different combinations of things you can be, but so E, I think, is extrovert, nurturing, feeling, and I forget what the P stands for.
Particularly awesome.
I mean, Abby. Yes, I forget how we just determined that we're both ENFPs, but we're the same person. Vanessa lives in Louisville, is a designer at work, is amazing. And
so awesome.
Oh my gosh. And this topic came up because of you, Katie, because Vanessa noticed my, of course, I'm Not Okay poster coming soon to an online store near you.
Yes.
That Emily made. And Emily does the Pretty Awful Instagram account where you send Emily like the worst thing that anyone has ever said to you. And then she makes it into this beautiful work of art. And it's like she reached into my brain and made this gift for you, Katie. So the Of Course I'm Not Okay poster started as a birthday gift for you. I asked Emily to make it, and literally it's like, yeah, she reached into my head and made exactly the thing that I
It's
pictured.
truly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I will definitely put it on Instagram for this, pod, because it's so beautiful. I see it every single day downstairs in my downstairs, of my house. It's so beautiful. And it's right behind you. I love that it's behind you.
I love it. It's in my backdrop on Zoom. So Vanessa sees it. I tell her about the podcast. I tell her about Pretty Awful. And her reaction to the Instagram account was like, I just, as an artist, she was like, I just love this idea of taking this bad thing and repackaging it, and that it changes its impact. And she said, and I quote, and I wrote this down because it like just landed so beautifully for me. She said, every time I think a mean thing, I want to plant a flower there. And she meant a mean thought, a mean thing about herself.
Yeah,
like
right.
The mean voices in your head, like every time one of them says something or says the thing they always say, to just plant a flower there. And it just was like, you're totally right. Like just picturing it just like blooming. It's just such a beautiful image. And I was like, I'm going to tell this to Katie. She's going to love it. We're totally doing this as a show.
Oh my gosh. I mean, thank you, Vanessa. And thank you, Karen, for bringing it up. I mean, I feel like that sentence could be its own book. It could be its own, I don't know. There's just so much like to think about the many, many, many negative thoughts. And it's like the garden of negative thoughts, like just like being like, instead you're just planting these beautiful flowers. And like, it just goes to show, it just makes me think about how like negative thoughts really are just thoughts, and like you can change their shape and change their, like change all the things about them and make them into something beautiful. It's like that, the whatchamacallit, I can't remember the name of it, but this Chinese art, or excuse me, Japanese art, of when, the porcelain breaks, like there's this art, and I can't remember what it's called. But a lot of people in Japan, it's like this well-known art where they will, meld together a piece of broken ceramics with gold. And that will actually be such a beautiful thing. And it's that is even more beautiful than the original. And it's just like, yeah, it's the same concept to me.
Well, and I love, one of the things I love about Pretty Awful, that Instagram account, is that seeing this mean thing represented so beautifully takes the power away from the thing.
Yes.
And diffuses the thing, and has the power to take, like I said, to take the power away from that thing and that thing's in your life. And that when you ask someone, what's the meanest thing anyone's ever said to you, we all have immediate answers.
Of course. Of course.
Like multiple examples of the meanest things anyone has ever said to us.
Yes.
And I think we have them because they live within us all the time. Even if it was fucking ever ago that someone said this thing to you, it's just in there. And just to think that like you can take it and like turn it into a flower, or turn them all. I love what you said, this garden of mean things. Like I just love like just taking the thorns off of it and just turning it into something beautiful, and to totally reframing how you think about that thing.
Yes. And that you have the power to do that.
Yes.
Like you have the power to take the thorns off of it. I think that so many of us think that we are in this cage of like whatever someone said to us is the truth. Like whatever, like, and it could be, I'm sure for people listening, it's horrible. Like all of us have the things that we can, take ourselves back. And I think it's so interesting because it's like, that doesn't have to define us. That doesn't have to like, put us in this cage. Like you can get out of it by thinking differently about it. And like, even just the simple idea of planting a flower where that is, even if it still hurts you, it's okay. Like you can make it something beautiful.
Yeah, I'll have to go look at the account, because I feel like one of the early ones that Emily did is something that I gave her, probably multiples of them are ones that I gave her. And I think about them now. And yeah, I just think about this like heavy, mean sentence and then just like flowers and vines growing over it.
Yeah.
And the other thing I said to Vanessa that it reminds me of is in Harry Potter, the like monster that reads your thoughts and turns into the thing you fear the most.
Oh, I've never seen Harry
You-
Potter. I need to.
Have you
I
not?
know. I know.
Wait,
Karen,
Katie,
please,
I'm
please
sorry.
still be friends with me.
Who are you? I don't
know.
even know who you are right now.
I know. I seriously, I'm like the only human left that has not seen it. I'm not against it at all. Like yeah, I don't know how that's possible.
You haven't read any of them or well, this is
No.
like a case study right now.
It's really rough. And also, I have been there is a bookstore in Porto, Portugal, that is where J.K. Rowling wrote the first book. And it is probably the biggest tourist attraction in Porto now. Like you have to stand in line for, I don't even know, 3 or 4 hours, unless you buy a ticket the day before, which we
What?
did. And because the first time we went there, I was like, what the hell is that? Like it's on a really random street. And someone walked by and they're like, how do you not know? Like because it's like the crazy staircase in Harry Potter is that staircase in that bookstore. And so it's like she like everything was inspired by this bookstore or parts of it, whatever. And so Tyler and I finally this time we were like, okay, we need to go. And we go and everyone is like loading up like just mountains of Harry Potter books from this bookstore. It's like such a cool place, like such a destination. And we're both like, yeah, I don't know. He hasn't either. And you know what? I think I need to see it before I talk to you next because the look on your face is so awful.
This is a judgment-free zone. Just tell my face that because I'm like, what? Okay.
How is that possible? I mean, it is weird. It is weird. It's a strange thing.
No, I'm not. I don't know. It's not weird. I'm stunned. I also want to put a disclaimer that I think that two things can be true at the same time, that you can love Harry Potter. Like I love Harry Potter and think that J.K. Rowling is a terrible turf and just should leave the internet and stop talking. Just mama, stop talking.
Just retire and just like count your billions really. But yes, just count
billions.
Right.
Billions. If you can't say anything nice and productive, and that is going to further the conversation to make things better for people, shut the fuck up. Just
100%.
Shut up. Anyway.
100%. Yes.
Okay. So anyway, wow.
Sidebar, but yeah.
There's a monster in Harry Potter that turns into your worst fear. And they like lock it in this cupboard. And then the professor opens the cupboard and each kid steps up. And then the monster changes shape into the thing they fear the most.
Oh,
and
wow.
You dispel this monster by laughing at it.
Oh.
And so they turn it into something that makes them laugh.
That's amazing.
They transform it, right? And so you might see it someday. Okay. So this is what the power of the planting a flower is for me, is like this thing that is the most terrifying thing to you, stripping it of its power by laughing at it rather than being afraid of it.
Wow. This is super powerful. Also, it makes me want to watch. That's like the most compelling reason to watch Harry Potter, honestly, to see that scene, because that's so powerful. If you can laugh at something that hurt you that bad, oh my God. Like I was having a conversation with someone recently and they were talking to me about how someone had hurt them and that they diffused that situation with anger no, they diffused that situation with laughter. And I seriously, my first word, I was like, what, how, like, what do you even talk, how would you ever diffuse that with laughter? And they were like, yeah, well, it actually worked. And, I feel better and I didn't take it on and all this. And I was like, oh, maybe I should learn from that. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had that. I'm just thinking I had two bosses. Oh my gosh. And one of them was just in a really bad mood and being really bitchy. They'd been friends a really long time and just like snapped at this other woman in front of this group of people. And the other woman just started laughing, just like turned it into a joke. And I was just like, I just was like looking back and forth between them. Like, how do you have that? You got to have a deep well of humor and laughter and love in you to be able to do that in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of laughter and love in you. Oh my gosh. I want to build that well of laughter and love in me. Like, I really do. I really do. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. Seriously, I'm so grateful for this episode. I really am. I honestly think I'm going to listen to it over and over because like the idea of, replacing negative thoughts with anything beautiful is such a novel concept, and it's a healing concept in my opinion.
I think it helps. I wonder also if it helps differently, if it has different healing properties depending where you are in the healing process, how long it's been since the thing was said to you, or since that thought has lived in you, or since you've had that thought. And I wonder if it helps as much at the very beginning as it does further down the road. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
That is a really interesting question. That really makes me think about things that were said to me or that I experienced years and years ago. And it kind of makes me think, if I look at them now, do they already have vines on them?
Mhm.
Like, do they already have and is it like shitty rotting moss, or is it like beautiful? Maybe I can replace the shitty rotting moss with like beautiful vines, because I think often the shitty rotting moss is just like the stories about the story. And if I'm able to just like replace that with flowers, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that does. I'm getting real deep into this metaphor.
Oh my God. It reminds me of people who turn like toilets into garden,
Oh yeah,
like flower pots outside.
totally. Yes.
Yeah.
I know, I see that and I was like, I'm always like, you do you, but I mean, I don't know.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it would be really cool if I had
Distinctive
that.
shape. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you can't tell it's a toilet, that would be cooler, but I don't know. I'm not against anyone who has a toilet pottery situation. Good for you. That's amazing. Yet again, I should find humor in things. I mean, that is funny. So anyway, but that was really fun. And thank you to your coworker.
Mm.
She's a genius, honestly.
And thank you, Emily, for Pretty Awful.
Yes. Thank you, Emily. I look at my poster every single day and I absolutely love it. All right, friends, we'll see you next week.